And we are back. Thank you for listening to the longest running radio show on real estate in the nation. Cleve Loveland. I am the broker owner of Loveland Properties. Been selling homes in Central Florida for over 30 years. My family was doing it for 20 years before me, and Mom brought me in as her retirement plan. How about you, Bruce? Did your folks bring you in as a retirement plan?
Well, Daddy was a builder. Okay. Grandpa was a builder. But no, unfortunately,
you like counting the money.
Unfortunately, I lost both my folks when I was very young. But there was some, excuse me, very important information that my dad gave to me as a young person, and he was a builder. And builders back in the 60s and 70s, they had their heyday and then they had their low day, right? Because they went through there were some recessions back in the mid 70s. And my dad, I can remember my dad sat me on his lap while he was reading the Sunday paper, because that's what people did on Sundays, in the family room that the kids weren't really allowed in, right? So, you always had a room that you weren't, there was a couch
that was the formal living room,
right? It was the formal living room. But Dad sat me down one day and we were talking about, he was a builder, and he was saying, if you ever get into this business, meaning building, real estate, mortgages, we're all in a related symbiotic business. He said, one day you're going to think you're rich, and the next day you're going to be looking for a ham sandwich. Okay. So he says, my advice is, when you're doing well, save your money, because there will be ups and there will be downs. Right now we're in a huge up, which means, when I ask you this, and I want you to give me and the audience the straight answer as to what you think, and I'm going to put you on the spot here. You're hearing these people say, we're going to head for a crash. It can't keep going like this. It's going to crash, and real estate's going to come down in value. What do you think about that?
We are not in a bubble. Now, it may slow down. I don't think it's going to come down. Now, and then it depends. This is why you and I have jobs. It depends on your personal situation. If you're in a house you bought for $180 4 years ago, you're doing pretty well, and it's probably worth almost $300. And it's literally, I don't think that house will come down. Now, the one you might have bought for $800 just now this last year, and that might keep going up a little bit to $1 million. That could come back down to $9. It's just it's different sectors of, just like the stock market has different sectors. Whenever you're in the high end market, you have less buyers, you have less sellers.
Well, you have less buyers, less sellers, which makes it less liquid property. However, it's interesting that you say that. So you're saying that we could have some adjustments. Well, there's no question we're going to have adjustments.
Well, most of what we remember is the horrible, horrible crash. Before that, you talked about your dad talking about ups and downs.
Right.
Usually there'd be an 8 to 15 year cycle of a speed up and a slowdown.
7 to 10 year cycles.
But over the long haul, it's always climbed. It always keeps climbing. So that's what, but I think right now, the other thing that's happening, and then I always talk about, hey, when you're listening to the media, what are they talking about? They're talking about national numbers, statewide numbers, Central Florida numbers. All right, Central Florida, we always do better.
We always do better.
Right now, Florida, I think, is moving up from being the 20th most expensive state in the country. I think we're going to move up to number 15, 16. And it's not that California is going to drop from being the most expensive, or Massachusetts is going to drop from being the most expensive, but some of their money's coming here.
Right.
And a lot of that's adjusting and moving around. So as our population grows, I was just...
As long as they don't bring their politics
I went to an Orlando Lions game last week and just drove by my friend's office in downtown Orlando. I hadn't been down his street in a couple of months. And just on his street, there was 4 one hotel, new condo building, and new office building. So Orlando is growing, so our market should do okay.
Well, I want to continue this conversation when we come back from the next break. So give us 5 minutes, and I want to tell you my take on us having a huge pullback in the market. If you have any questions for me, you can reach me at 407-250-9144 or webringyouhome.com. That's webringyouhome.com.
Cleve Loveland, 407-352-8118 for Central Florida's Voice of Real Estate.
All right, and we'll be back in 5 minutes. Stay tuned. I got some big news.